also going back to the sides thing is you're going to be, giving these actors a page or two, maybe half a page, maybe just a paragraph, something for them to memorize and audition with. And just be really considerate about the sides that you're choosing for them. You want it to be something that's not just like the boring conversation of like, hello, good morning. You want it to be something where there's a little bit of meat to it so that you can see what they do with a complicated scene, even if it's just a piece of one. And you want to see, you want to give them something that's more interesting to play. And just also be considerate of how much you're asking them to memorize in how short a time. A lot of these virtual auditions will be in a short amount of time. You'll have like a day or two to memorize and shoot, and submit your audition. So be considerate if you're a casting director and I need to have this movie cast by 2 weeks from now. Then that means that you need to be like choosing your actors for their callbacks and stuff like soon. That means that you need to have your initial round of auditions sooner, and that means that you need to have your breakdown up like yesterday. All right, well, thank you, Morgan, for joining us, and for your input too. But yeah, definitely like consider these things about how much you're asking people to memorize in a short amount of time, and how much, how long it takes for them to actually memorize this, but also shoot it. And then sometimes they like do a little edit on it if you're asking for a slate and stuff too, and to send it to you. So just be considerate about that. And also be really considerate about letting actors know, this is like, you've been chosen to do a callback. Here's the sides for the callback, and do that as quickly as possible too. Like, you try to be as on top of it as you can be when it comes to the casting process, because a lot of actors will be really excited about it, and they'll be really, especially if they move up, they'll want to do a good job. And so give them the tools that they need to do a good job. And then when you are making your casting decisions, it helps too, I found, to have like a little team in there. If it's not just you, maybe you're producing, but if you also talk to your director and things like that, you should have a couple of people who are, if you weren't the one who wrote it, maybe ask the writer how they feel about the auditions and the casting stuff too, just to make sure that whoever you're hiring for it is someone who's serving the story. And because also having discussions about these auditions afterward and weighing the pros and cons can really give you a sense of like, okay, do we need to have another round, or am I considering what's going to be best for the story? So that's sort of thoughts on casting. And also, if you're an actor going through this casting process, there have been times that I've sat in the casting, chair behind the computer screen, and I'm like so nervous. I'm like, I really, really hope that these guys do well. Like, I'm like rooting for every audition, every callback. And so just keep that in mind too, is that it feels like you might be going up there in order to just be like judged, and you're like, oh, these casting directors are going to hate me. And that's not what it is at all. They're looking in there and they're hoping that you show up as the character that they have in their mind. And sometimes you will, and sometimes you won't, but they're rooting for you. The better that you are, the easier their job is. So that's a fun one too. But yeah, they're rooting for you if you're an actor.